Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Journey with Vijay Kumar Shrivastav. Today we are going to study the topic rice wheat cropping system. Before presentation I would like to introduce myself. I am Vijay Kumar Shrivastav. I have done M.Sc Agriculture with specialization in Agronomy from Pant University of Agriculture and Technology Pantnagar in 1996 and presently associated with seed industry and working in one of the M.Sc private job. So let's proceed to the presentation. First introduction about rice wheat cropping system. The rice wheat cropping production system of South Asia are among the most productive cropping systems in the world. Despite expanding populations, production of rice and wheat has kept pace with demand in South Asian countries and especially in India. However, the system is showing signs of fatigue and evidence suggests that natural resource degradation may be reducing productivity in South Asia's rice wheat production systems. This has serious implications for millions of farmers who depend on this system for their livelihoods and for meeting the ever increasing food demand due to population growth. Rice and wheat dominate India's food supply, accounting for over 70% of the total food grain production. Although average rice and wheat yields increase at about 2% a year between 1960 and 1990, these impressive rates are no longer being maintained onwards. With the traditional sources of productivity growth being nearly exhausted, analysts believe that production increases will be hard pressed to cope with even a very modest growth in demand over the long run associated with rising incomes of the people. Importance of rice wheat cropping systems in India. Rice wheat cropping systems in India extend across Indo-Gangetic floodplains, up into the Himalayan foothills, and in some irrigated zones further south. It occupies an area mainly states of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar, and West Bengal. Technological changes introduced through the Green Revolution, marked by a rapid expansion of rice and wheat areas, often associated with farmers' adoption of rice-wheat rotational systems, which played a leading role in the agriculture development in the country. Prior to the Green Revolution in India, which was in mid-60s, agriculture growth was from an expansion of cultivated area. The area under food grains increased from 101 million hectares in 1950-51 to 128 million hectares in 1990-91 year. This was coupled with consistent increase in double cropped area made possible to a large extent by the expansion of irrigated area from 20.9 million hectares in 1950-51 to 50.2 million hectares area in 1995 and availability of short duration varieties. The key features of the Green Revolution strategy included the expansion of irrigated area, the introduction of high-yielding dwarf rice and wheat varieties, and the promotion of fertilizer usage. Other supporting elements included the expansion and strengthening of research and extension services and agriculture support policies. The combined effect of the increased use of these variables resulted in a substantial increase in food grain production from 55 million tons in 1951 to 236 million tons in 1996. A spread of rice wheat cropping system. Rice wheat cropping system sequence is the world's largest agriculture production system. The rice wheat rotation is the principal cropping system in South Asian countries since more than 1000 years. It has since expanded and is currently estimated at 23.5 million hectares. In South Asia, that occupies about 13.5 million hectares in the Indo-Gangetic plains, of which 10 million hectares are in India, 2.2 million hectares in Pakistan, and 0.8 million hectares in Bangladesh, and 0.5 million hectares in Nepal. The Indo-Gangetic plains regions of India has a rice wheat cropping system spread over a vast area spanning from Punjab in the northwest to east up to West Bengal. This cropping system is dominant in most Indian states like Punjab, Haryana, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh, and contributes to 75% of the national food grain production. This system covers about 33% of the total rice area and 42% of the total wheat area in the four countries as stated above, and account for 1/4 to 1/3 of the total rice and wheat production. Because of this, the rice wheat cropping system is the cornerstone of India's food self-sufficiency. The environmental requirements for the growth and development of both rice and wheat crops are constrainingly different. Rice grows best under stagnant, waterlogged conditions, while wheat requires a well-pulverized soil with a proper balance of moisture, air, and thermal regime. Therefore, a dominating feature of the rice-wheat cropping system is the annual conversion of soil from aerobic to anaerobic and then back to aerobic conditions. Now to study key features of rice-wheat cropping system. Both rice and wheat crops have different soil requirements and cultivation practices. Rice crop needs waterlogged or stagnant water conditions, where wheat crop is having requirement of well pulverized soil balanced with moisture, air, and thermal regime. Because of this, a main key feature of rice wheat cropping system is the annual conversion of soil from aerobic to anaerobic and then back to aerobic conditions. Although rice wheat cropping system is an irrigated cropping system, yet yields are dependent on climatic situation in India, where southwest monsoon plays important role. Both Rabi and Kharif season are occupied by wheat and paddy crop rotation. The Rabi crop of wheat is having nature of more fertilizers consumption than Kharif crop of rice. This rice wheat cropping system is known for high cropping intensity. Cropping intensity refers to the ratio of net area sown to the total cropped area. In rice wheat cropping system, green fodder is easily available, and this in turn helps to support large livestock population. Rice wheat cropping system is known for plenty of methane generation and its contributions to global warming. Now concerns about the sustainability of rice wheat system. Decline in the yield on long-term experimental plots, stagnating farmers' yield, declining productivity growth rates, and factor productivity in both farm and research settings, and degrading soil and water resources have raised questions about the sustainability of rice wheat crop rotation systems. This is a serious concern, especially at a time when the production of staple food in whole of South Asia must increase at a rate of 2.5% per year to meet the projected population's growth. However, an analysis of statistics from Punjab and Haryana over the past 20 years shows that the northwestern green revolution miracle is over. With currently available germplasm, the crop and soil management practices, growth in rice wheat cropping system productivity seems unlikely to exceed the current level of 2% per annum. A major concern arising about the intensive rice and wheat cropping with a corresponding decline in pulses and coarse grains has been nutritional imbalance, especially micronutrients malnutrition among the people. This situation has developed because the production of micronutrient-rich crops like coarse grains and pulses has not matched the increasing output of wheat and rice. Prolonged cultivation of rice and wheat cropping system has caused degradation of natural resources like groundwater and soil to a great extent. Thus, the sustainability of rice-wheat system is affected due to overconsumption of vital nutrients from soil, extraction of nutrients, depletion of groundwater levels, increasing diseases and pest incidences, and soil compaction and disturbances due to rice puddlings. The governments have been focusing on promotion of the alternate legume, oil seeds and cereal crops like summer moong, sunflower and maize in order to reduce the wheat and paddy crop rotation because legume crops have capability to increase soil nutrition. Now we will go through rice wheat cropping system issues. Indigenous conventional system of rice wheat cropping system leads to the following issues like ecological issues, agricultural issues, climatic issues, and livelihood issues. As ecological issues are concerned, it relates to the declining underground water table because rice is having the extensive use of water in its cultivation. There is groundwater pollution because of use of fertilizers and pesticides, and there is diverse wheat flora because these two crops are main concerns increasing the food grain productivity, and these are largely cultivated and they are giving the existence of wheat flora. Then outbreak of disease and insect pests. As agriculture issues are concerned, it is related to degrading soil structure because of puddling operations in rice cultivation which results to the soil compaction. There is declining soil health because of soil property changes due to waterlogging condition and extensive tillage operations. There is residue management issues. Burning the rice residue causes the environmental pollution, global warming, killing the beneficial insects, create negative nutrient balance, and also degraded the soil, decreases organic matter levels, and finally results in the soil health deterioration. There is multiple nutrient deficiency because these two crops are having extensive nutrient absorption from soil extraction which results in the multiple nutrient deficiencies. Then there is declining crop response due to the continued cultivation of same crops year after year. There is decreased land productivity. There is now stagnation of yields, decreased water productivity, labor shortage. There is least attending intervening period between rice and wheat crop cultivation. There is very short gap, so soil is not getting the time to retain its health. After that, wheat flora shift and herbicide resistance. As climatic issues are there is environment pollution because of excessive use of fertilizers, pesticides, and leaching loss of nutrients due to waterlogged conditions. And there is global warming because of burning of the residue of crops. And as livelihood issues are there is need of high energy requirement, decreased land productivity year after year, reduced water efficiency, and there is a stagnation of productivity which results to the poor incomes. Factors affecting yields of rice and wheat cropping systems: delayed planting of wheat and transplanting of rice because there is few days gap between rice and wheat crops planting season. So as soon as rice harvesting takes place, we have to go for wheat sowing, and after wheat harvesting immediate, we have to go for rice cultivation. So these operations are affecting the planting of wheat and transplanting of rice in other way. There is energy, labor and other inputs shortage. Resistance of the wheat Felris minor to isoproteron in wheat crop and the crop residue burning have contributed to the stagnating or declining production, productivity and sustainability of the system. Continuous cropping of rice wheat system for several decades as well as contrasting edaphic needs of these two crops have resulted in increased pest pressure and nutrient mining from the soil, because of which the soil productivity is getting down day by day and ultimately low yields. Now the opportunities for development as a solution to the rice wheat cropping system. It can be described as conservation agriculture, crop diversification, resource conservation technologies adoption, integrated crop and resource management, which refers to the balanced approach of crop and natural resource management, efficient nutrient and weed management systems, and crop residue management. Under conservation agriculture practices, we have to follow minimum soil disturbances like conservation tillage or minimum tillage or zero tillage. There should be soil and water conservation practices to enhance the efficiency of water and least impact to the soil conditions. Retention of adequate level of crop residue for enhancing biological activities and enhancing soil carbon sequestration. Against rice wheat cropping system, there should be use of viable crop rotations for breaking life cycles of insects, disease and weeds, improving soil health, minimizing use of herbicides and pesticides, and incorporating pulses in crop rotation system. Now, crop diversification. Crop diversification is of paramount importance in mitigating the abiotic and biotic problems arising on account of rice wheat monoculture system. It can be achieved by following approaches, horizontal approach or vertical approach, and other approaches like land-based and water-based. As diversification of rice wheat system is concerned, there should be development of short duration cereal crops for Rabi and Kharif seasons, introduction of grains, fodders, legumes, oil seeds as intercrops in rice wheat systems, inclusion of tree crops and agroforestry in cropping systems, and following mixed crop and livestock system in cropping systems. Now, crop residue management in rice wheat cropping system. Burning of crop residue is a major issue where the alternate options of residue management should be adopted like manuring, ethanol production, energy production from biomass, biogas and residue gasification, fast pyrolysis, which refers to the thermal decomposition of biomass, then biochar process, which is the extraction of charcoal-like substances from burning biomass, and then incorporation and retention in soil. So this presentation was all about rice wheat cropping systems. Hope this will be useful to all of you. Thank you very much. I have given here my YouTube channel details, Journey with Vijay Kumar Shrivastav. Having request, please visit the channel, subscribe it, and provide your kind and valuable feedbacks. Thank you.